Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the world around you fade. Together, we will journey to a realm where myths come alive and mysteries whisper their secrets. This is your moment to pause, to wonder, and to escape. The Adventures of Nera, a journey into the Otherworld. A challenge on Sound Night. The cold wind howled through the halls of Cruachan, the stronghold of Avalil and Queen Meb of Connacht. It was Sound Night, the time when the veil between the living and the dead grew thin, and spirits roamed freely among men. The warriors of the court huddled close to the great fire, drinking and boasting of their courage. Then, a challenge was set forth. Who among you is brave enough, Alil declared, to walk into the dark and place a rope around the neck of a hanged man? The warriors fell silent, for on this night, the dead did not always stay at rest. Then, a voice rang out. I will go, said Nera, a warrior of Connacht. Bold and eager to prove his strength, he took up a sword and stepped into the cold night, where the shadows stretched long beneath the pale light of the moon. The dead man's warning. Through the darkness, Nera walked to the gallows, where the lifeless bodies of criminals swayed gently in the wind. He approached one of the corpses and threw the rope around its neck. But as he did, the corpse's eyes snapped open. Water, the dead man rasped. Give me a drink. Nera, though shaken, did not flee. Instead, he cut the ropes binding the corpse and slung the dead man over his shoulder. He carried him to the nearest house, where candlelight flickered through a small window. He knocked, and a woman's voice answered. We have no water for the dead. Undeterred, Nera carried the corpse to another house. Again, he was refused. At the third house, the door creaked open, and Nera brought the dead man inside. The family within, too terrified to protest, handed him a cup of water. The corpse drank deeply, then let out a sigh, and with that, he collapsed into true death. But when Nera turned to leave, something caught his eye through the open doorway. A glimpse of doom. Beyond the hills of Cruachan, the fortress burned. Warriors lay slain in the streets. Smoke curled into the night sky as shadowy figures moved through the ruins. Panic surged through Nera's veins. Had his people been attacked while he carried out this foolish errand? Then, a voice whispered beside him. This has not yet come to pass. Nera turned sharply to see a woman, her eyes dark as the night sky, standing beside him. She was one of the fairy folk of the Otherworld. You have crossed the threshold, Nera, she murmured. And now ye walk among those who are neither living nor dead. Taken to the Otherworld. Before Nera could reply, the world around him shifted. He was no longer in Cruachan, but deep beneath the earth, in a fairy mound glowing with an eerie light. The She led him through the halls of silver and gold, where feasts were laid upon endless tables and music filled the air. Yet beneath the beauty, there was something hollow, a sense that this world was not meant for mortal men. a fairy lord approached Nera and spoke. "You are now bound to our world. Take a wife from among us, and you may stay in comfort." So, Nera remained in the Otherworld, living among the Fae, though his heart was never at peace. Each night, he dreamed of the vision he had seen, the destruction of Cruachan, the death of his people. A way to escape. One day, his fairy wife whispered a secret to him. "The vision you saw was a warning, not fate. The Sidhe plan to attack your people on the next Samhain night, but there is still time to stop them." She told him of the Otherworld's great weakness, their stores of firewood which granted them strength, hidden beneath the fairy mound. "If you warn your people and burn the wood before they strike, you will rob them of their power." With her guidance, Nera slipped away from the Otherworld and returned to the land of the living. To his horror, he found that though only days had passed for him, years had passed in Cruachan. The Warrior's Warning. Nera hurried to King Ailill and Queen Meb, telling them all that he had seen. The Sidhe's plot, the hidden firewood, the coming war. The warriors of Connacht prepared for battle, and on Samhain night they struck first. They burned the Sidhe's firewood stores, weakening them before they could attack. The Fae, furious and powerless, retreated to the depths of the Otherworld, their plan thwarted. Nera, though victorious, found himself changed. He had walked among the dead, seen visions of the future, and lived beyond the veil of time. He had survived, but part of him would always belong to the world beneath the hills. A lesson in the thin veil between worlds. Nera's tale is a warning, whispered on Samhain nights when the air is thick with unseen presence. The veil between worlds is thin, and there are paths that once taken cannot be undone. The Otherworld is not a place to be sought, for it does not give, it only takes. Yet, there is wisdom in what Nera learned. The future is not set in stone. It can be glimpsed, understood, and with courage, changed. So, as the fires burn on Samhain night, remember this. The spirits walk among us, but it is the living who shape the world. And those who listen, who see beyond the shadows, may find the power to change their fate. As the whispers of myth fade into the stillness, carry their magic with you into the world. Until we meet again, may your spirit wander, and may your days be filled with wonder. Thank you for listening to Whispering Myth. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to Whispering Myth. That way, you won't miss out on any of the magical tales that I share. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment. Thank you for listening, and until we meet again, may the whispers of myth guide your dreams.